Couple of tools that you have to use in order to make money with meme coins, like Dexscreener, BullX, Trojan bot, and a couple of more. And in this video I'm going to show you everything you have to do.
Let's get started with proper video on how to find meme coins early. I'm going to talk about strategies on how to discover the next best things and how to make money with crypto. You have to remember, however, that nothing here is financial advice. Crypto is risky. You can lose all your capital, especially with meme coins. So one crucial thing about meme coins is that they're purely driven by attention. There's the whole dynamics, and attention in this case means that there's community, there's different kind of narrative. For example, there's a meme like a chill guy or maybe dog with hat. There's something that's really memorable, and that people can use over and over, like Dogecoin with Doge, have the funny picture. There's a couple of things that are really important. There's no fundamentals in the sense that there's no fees or revenue coming into a particular meme coin, but there's still something that you can measure, and what you can measure is different kind of social sentiments, how it can be discovered on social media. So that's super important. Then I'm going to cover Dexscreener, BullX, GMGN, the things that I've mentioned already. So let's get started with general overlook, and then we go into details, and maybe I talk about something more.
The value of meme coins is entirely social, so the meme itself has to be viral, and also socials has to be good. You need to have influencers who are actually talking about the particular meme. So the easiest way to find meme coins is actually to find influencers first, or calls on Twitter, on YouTube, and follow them. In order to find them, you basically have to create a list of people that has great guesses in the past, follow them, and find new coins.
So first thing first, you can look on crypto Twitter, meaning on Twitter in general. There are many people that are shilling or just shouting out different meme coins. Of course, you have to know who to trust, or if there's any trust at all. But what you have to be aware of is, of course, single person just talking about a particular coin. Most of the coins that are really taking off are mentioned by multiple people, and it's happening over time. So that's something to remember. You have to follow influential crypto traders, meme coin specialists, and have multiple of them, and also see their track record. But sometimes if you see a particular meme coin appearing in multiple places, maybe that's already a good sign, a green flag. Another thing is, of course, Discord and Telegram groups. There are many paid ones. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. There are things that I did that in a previous video where I talked about different paid groups. Generally speaking, there are many free groups that you can enter, so you don't have to pay for anything most of the time. But there are some of them are really good for very focused crypto signals. But there are many different signal groups, alpha calls, chats that are available for you on Telegram, and if you search on Twitter for them, you'll find them. Very easy to find. Ideally, you find influential crypto traders. They have their own groups, and from there you can find new people that are also interested in meme coins and use that. Now, the next thing is, of course, different explorers. Dexscreener being the most known, but you also have Dex tools, Birdeye, that are also pretty popular, and you can look for tokens that are pretty small, meaning sub $1 million market cap. Of course, those are small caps. You can, of course, play the game of like higher caps from 1 million to 10 million, or even higher coins like above $50 million. With some of them, for example, if you were to hit Pepe, which went on to $10 billion market cap, even if you hit it at $100 million market cap, you would still do 100x. Of course, this is a very particular example, very hard to imitate that. There's definitely just every cycle, there's like 1, 2, 3 coins like that, and that's it. Another example might be Popcat, Bonk, Dog with Hat, and that's it pretty much. All the other coins are sub $1 billion, which means that if you're hitting them for over $100 million market cap, there's very little chance that you're going to make anything meaningful on them, and definitely not above 2x, 3x. But with meme coins, you have to take the risk, because you have to look for 10x's, 100x's, because most of the meme coins actually will go to zero. Now, another thing is looking at popular chains like Solana and Base. Those are the two most popular ones for meme coins. Ton and Tron are actually other examples that are popular. Now, this is where we're going into Dexscreener. Dexscreener has a very good thing for looking at what's popular right now. You can look for particular chains. You can go, for example, just with Solana here, and see what's on Solana. You can just look on Base and see what's on Base on particular exchanges. So for example, you can go with Solana and just see what's on Pump Fund listed right now. You have the coins from Pump Fund. That's the most popular process right now. And you can see what's trending, what's on top, what's rising. There are a couple of really interesting stuff, and basically just look at different things. You have to get used to the fact that many of those will go to zero. The meme coins are really hard to pinpoint down, and generally speaking, if you have a fast raising coin, that might be something good to bet, but you have to check the socials. You have to see who's mentioning that on Twitter, Telegram, or YouTube, because it's a social game in the end, and you have to make sure that you are following the right people, and the right people are calling a particular coin. So there are no, very rarely at least, there are coins that go organically over months up. Most of that is just a community, and they really are pushing a particular coin, and you just want to go inside and ride the wave with them. So Dexscreener is one of the ways to discover that. Even if you don't invest, at least just try to follow. So for example, if you click on particular coin, you can go to the social, see who's mentioning that token. Go just search for the ticker on Twitter, see who's mentioning that particular token. Another way which is for discovering tokens, which is a little bit less known, is going on Reddit or 4chan and discovering that. Of course, this is even harder to pick something. YouTube is also a little bit harder than, for example, Twitter, because it's much slower. It's much harder to actually create a video rather than just, tweet something very fast and do it from there. So also, if you're looking for new coins, maybe start with Telegram or Twitter rather than YouTube most of the time.
So first of all, you have to pick a good platform. BullX, Trojan bot, GMGN, Photon, all those platforms are legit for trading meme coins, and they offer you a bunch of tools to actually find early coins. But that's not everything. You have to see things like Nansen or maybe Colscan or a couple of other platforms that are giving you access to what crypto whales are doing on chain, because following crypto whales is really one of the best tactics. You can see what people are buying and selling live in their wallets and do the same thing if you like.
Now for trading itself, I definitely recommend BullX. That's my favorite platform. Trojan and GMGN are another ones, but BullX is definitely amazing. They also have this kind of discoverability where you can click on Solana and see what's being created on pump.fun, the main place for meme coins, and it's very easy to see some of the stats, because you, for example, see how many insiders are there. Like if they hold too much, then that might not be very interesting. You can see how many snipers are inside the particular coin, even without clicking, because if you go to particular token, then you might learn a little bit more. So if, for example, go with, say, my portfolio, we're going to go with something like Lock-in, one of my favorite meme coins, currently super down. You can see my buys, for example, here, but you can see a bunch of other stuff like bubble map, how different holders are connected, whether it's a good distribution or not. So for example, there's a bubble here holding 4% here. You can see things like that, which are very useful, generally speaking, because you don't want to have bundled meme coins. So for example, memecoin being held by all by insiders. Lock-ins hold 40% by insiders, which is, well, not ideal, but pretty fine still. And top holders hold 17%, which is fine. 22,000 holders, which is great. More and more holders. That's generally fine. So there are different stats here on BullX that you can use. Also things like, is it mintable? Is it freezable? So that's very useful for Solana, because you don't want to go into those honeypots where you won't be able to sell the token. So that's very, very important. This is for BullX, really recommended. Trojan bot, this is on Telegram, super fast. If you're trading on a go, then definitely recommend going with Trojan. It will allow you to basically buy everything on your mobile while you are away. Really great stuff. Another platform is GMGN. It's very useful for copy trading, especially if you want to copy trade particular wallets that you can also discover. First of all, new coins, but basically also addresses here on Binance Smart Chain, but you have also Solana, Ethereum, Base, Tron, Blast. But definitely for Binance Smart Chain, that's probably the best platform. And also you can see things like snipers, the best fresh wallets, calls and smart money, people that are doing really great. But you have to remember that don't follow them blindly, analyze some of that, because especially if you look at those with that huge P&Ls, most of the time they might be insiders, and if you try to go after them, they will just sell on your head, so you will lose money in the end. So you have to be careful. Ideally, you find someone who has like organic presence. Maybe there's something like calls, so people that you can find on Twitter and they have a huge following, maybe, or like semi-huge, because you don't want to have too crowded trade. So you might find someone with like 10,000 followers. That'll be a good bet here and has good calls. So this is really great for GMGN. Same for Solana. You can go with Solana and find some of the wallets that are really doing pretty well. So this is it for GMGN. Let's go back to what else you can do. So I wanted to mention that it's really important to have some kind of a stop losses. All of the tools basically allow you for that. So for example, if you were to go with for example, BullX, you can do limit orders. So for example, I could limit sell. If the price go down 50%, 22%, I could sell some amount of that 50%. For example, if the price go down 40%. Sometimes it's really important, especially if you're trading larger memes that, for example, are on a downturn and you want to exit quickly. But usually, the stop loss for meme coins is actually 0 and bucks are going down, because some of the falls are really fast. What's really important is how to size your position. There's the thing called Kelly criterion, which basically tells you that you shouldn't risk more than 5%, more or less. There is more calculation to it, but that's something that you can remember, meaning that you don't want to explode, blow up on a single position, and that's something you want to remember. Also, profit-taking ladders, meaning take profits, and save that in a different account, different wallet, so that you will have fresh powder when, for example, we are in a downturn like we are right now. So that's really important. And again, use verified dexes. So things like I've mentioned right now, GMGN, Trojan, or BullX are really great. Also, there are exchanges like MEXC, which is particularly good for trading meme coins, because they have so many meme coins. You can use leverage there. Really good one. Bybit is also great. Use things that are verified and mentioned by multiple people, not just by me. Verify, of course, but you have to have that, because there are many, of course, scammy exchanges that can take your money. So you should always use something that's somehow verified. Of course, there's never full guarantee here. Projects change, they can be hacked, and so on. So there's also something to remember here. So we basically talked about different tools and how you can look for different stuff. You also can have this criteria for how to find tokens. As I've mentioned, look for tokens that are pretty low on the market cap side, around 1 million, maybe even less, 100,000 sometimes market cap. They have coins that are just starting, but that have enough liquidity. If you have tokens with very little liquidity, you might not be able to exit the positions. Also verify liquidity is locked. That's automatic when you have a coin from pump.fun, so that you don't have to worry about that. For other chains, other ways to create a token, that's not always a guarantee. So that's why you have to remember it here. Now, community social metrics, that's the most important stuff. You have to remember that how token is talked about, how much attention it generates, that's the crucial thing here. Technical security checks, that doesn't really go here if you go with pump fund. That might be the case when it comes to tokens from other chains and not from pump fund on Solana. But basically, if you have bubble maps, and that's, for example, a guarantee on BullX with bubble map, you can verify how much of the tokens are really held along different top wallets. Also, there are different stats on Dexscreener as well. That's worth analyzing if you go with particular tokens to see, for example, how many people are in a trade, how many bots there are, and so on. So I think that's really important here. For example, let's go with things like Fartcoin. You have all the stats here on Dexscreener. You have liquidity, how much there is. You have the velocity, different how many buys versus sells. All those things, all the audits, no issues. This is really important, especially if you go outside of Solana. Solana is really well verified, so sometimes it's very easy to find it. There are a couple of red flags that you have to watch for. So for example, taxes on coins are always a red flag. Basically having these clusters of people that are holding the coin, locked liquidity for a short period of time, only paid promotions, no organic growth, copy-paste projects, unrealistic promises, and basically memes that are not funny. So if you have another dog that's definitely not funny, nothing original, then usually it's not going to perform well. If you want to have a meme coin that will last at least a week, then you have something that is more fun, or has a great budget for marketing, or something else. There must be something that differentiates it from other meme coins, because there are so many meme coins. So you have to always be careful what you're buying. So this is basically it. Now it's time for you to actually do a little bit of job, meaning setting up your Twitter so that you follow people that are talking about meme coins, maybe create a separate list, have those dexes, so like BullX, Trojan, GMGN, Dexscreener on front page, join communities. So as I've mentioned, a couple of different callers on Twitter especially have their own Telegram channels where you can go talk with people. Of course, be respectful, ask questions, but it's always good if you have positive feedback and, you know, just ask questions. This is really good. And if you're a little bit more advanced, you can set alerts for example, things that are happening through Dexscreener, or maybe through different Telegram channels. That's really good. We're talking a little bit about risk management, Kelly criterion, remember 5%. Generally speaking, this is how you find meme coins early. There are a couple of things you can do. I think it's a really fascinating subject, and trying to get into this meme coins is really a nice strategy in crypto. Thank you for watching, subscribe to the channel, and see you in the next video.